And that's what we're gonna do.
So what we're doing for this, the theme of this one.
Okay.
We're gonna go through the movie Batmans, and we're gonna try to find out which one is the most dangerous Batman.
Which one is the most dangerous Batman? Okay.
Like, what's the most dangerous Batman? So I guess we'll start with Adam West here.
Okay.
Which that looks just like Adam West.
No, not really, but okay.
It's his outfit.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna play like the main game. We're just gonna do like the challenges and shit.
Okay. Shark bait.
Yeah, these are just like.
Oh my god, is that like the shark in the movie?
I think so.
The 1966 like.
It's been a while since I played this.
By the way, if you guys want to check out the Adam West Batman, get this box set. I don't even know if it's still available, but find it on eBay or something.
Yeah.
And this is how you should watch that series. This is one of the best Blu-ray box sets ever made. So
I'm so glad they finally made that because of all like the red tape over who owned it for years.
It was just so overdue. And one more thing about this. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, that sucks. There's a button on it that's supposed to play the Batman theme, but I guess it's broken. Oh, it's probably the battery's probably dead.
The batteries?
Confound it! The batteries are dead. You know and then, so the torpedo hits the buoy Batman and Robin are on, and a few minutes later they're fine. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, what happened? And he's like, well, there was a porpoise that jumped in front of the fucking the missile.
Weirdest way around.
Yeah.
All right.
And then for a few minutes, Batman's like, God, that porpoise. Like, I feel so bad for the fucking porpoise.
All right, so Adam West Batman. Let's see how dangerous he is. Let's talk about him.
Let's get dangerous.
So how would you rank Adam West fighting?
Okay, well, I remember one episode of the show where there was a villain. I think his name was Shane or something. And he was like
Shame, right? Yeah.
Shame, right?
Yeah.
He was a cowboy, like kind of character, and so they're having they always do the brawl with the pow and the bop and all that stuff. And there was like a bar fight in like an old saloon, and one of Adam West's moves, because I think they probably made some of it up on the spot. Yeah, like they probably did some choreography, but a little bit of it is just like improv, I think. Yeah. And there was one point where he gets down on the ground and he's like sliding his ass like along the ground, and I'm like watching. It's very brief, but I'm like, this is a Batman. He's like sliding his ass on the ground. What kind of move is that? So, in my opinion, the Adam West Batman is my favorite Batman of all time. Like, not even it should come back.
Yeah,
it's like a glitch. If it happens, just like go there. But I do have to say, as far as the most dangerous Batman, he is definitely the most dangerous Batman.
Oh, he is?
Yes. Because what other Batman slides his ass on the ground? That's dangerous shit.
I don't know. His fighting skills are kind of weak. I will say, though, he's great at planning ahead. Like, he always has a gadget for something.
Well, doesn't all Batman have that?
Not all of them. But he has, like, very specific gadgets. So I actually would kind of be... Even though he's not very good at, like, fist fighting and whatnot, he doesn't have the ninja moves that other Batman does have, I'd still be kind of wary that he would have something in his belt that could take me out.
Should I say all versions of Batman, or all versions of Batman, or all Batmen?
Batman.
Batman. Say Batman?
Yeah.
Okay. All the Batmen. All the different Batmen. The Batman.
I will say he's also good at getting out of tight situations. I mean, he wasn't going to get out of that one torpedo, but that porpoise helped him out, apparently.
So is Robin when he turns back into Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Because he wears tights and is getting out of... Okay, let's move on. What else do you have to say about the game?
So
please say something.
Let's see what the chat thinks. How would you guys rank Adam West's danger level as Batman?
Yeah, let's see what they say. Adam West would make Chuck Norris his bitch, says Ryan Kang, 1995. If you want to see Batman fight badly, watch the old Batman and Robin serial. Do you know there was two of them? There was one from the 30s and one from the 40s.
Yeah, we've been playing them in the background for rental reviews.
That's right.
He has a couple of them.
Public domain, I think. Slides his ass. That has to be painful.
By the way, real quick. Imagine... Imagine if Batman...
That kind of looks like what he does, actually.
Imagine
that's very Adam West.
I kind of want to splice in a fight scene from this game into an episode of the old Batman.
Oh my god. Can you I wonder if you can find the clip of him doing the ass thing on the ground for this video.
Yeah, I probably
Maybe we can find it,
yeah. Here's another thing about the Adam West Batman has. He has a Robin, which not all Batmen have.
That's true.
Does that increase his fighting? I would rate him Adam West out of 10. Adam West is the most silky. He is.
Robin doesn't do shit. It's all Batman.
All right, so we're ranking Adam West.
Robin always gets kidnapped or captured, and then Batman's like, fuck. Again with this shit? I thought you were supposed to be, like, fucking helping me. And he's like, right. And he says, fuck you, Robin.
So we're going to move on to the next movie, Batman. Right. 89.
Okay.
Which, by the way, like, fucking... This Batman, like, he would not be able to bet. How his head is bent right now.
There's a whole behind the scenes thing on that. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so let's.
Is there Robin? I just saw Robin on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Robin I have right now is the Burt Ward Robin. All right, so Michael Keaton Batman. He's. Oh, that's another thing. Adam West had, like, almost no armor. Michael Keaton Batman is completely armored, head to toe. He can stop bullets, but he can't stop Catwoman claws, which is kind of... I feel like that's an inconsistency. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Oh, hold on. I gotta go back.
Wait a second. Isn't this a thing from Arkham City?
Yeah, they have, like, different
They have
stuff.
Arkham City shit in here? Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
See, I haven't played Arkham... I beat Arkham City. I played most of Arkham Asylum, but I haven't really played much Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I think you'd like Arkham Knight.
Okay.
The car is kind of annoying.
Okay.
They kind of fucked up the car, but...
Isn't it more like the Tumbler? Or like a tank or something?
Yeah, it turns into like a tank. It's weird.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Challenges. Alright, so Michael Keaton, he's completely armored, but he's not very mobile.
Yeah, they're saying he can't turn his neck, and that's a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, and his fight scenes are kind of awkward. Like, there's one in Batman Returns where he, like, to dodge, like, a punch, he has to bend completely over instead of, like, down.
If you think about it, if you watch the 1989, like, Batman movie, it is true. He kind of, like, does, like, this and this to, like, to look. It is kind of bad, isn't it?
Yeah, and Tim Burton, he's not a good action director at all. Like, you can like those movies, but you have to admit, like, the action's not very good.
I mean, he's good at, like, quirky, like, comedy, weird stuff, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood. Like, that's his strengths, you know?
But the Michael Keaton Batman, he's completely armored. Doesn't have too many gadgets compared to the other Batman, but what he does have is the ability to murder people outright. He kills so many goddamn people. It's kind of shocking.
Like in Batman Returns?
And the first one, too. The first one, which I mentioned before.
Oh, what about that guy he sends off the clock tower at the end?
Yeah, he fucking, he murders the Joker. People are like, oh, he's trying to attach him to a statue. And it's like, yeah, but he knew what was happening.
That's true.
And also,
he didn't try to save him.
Yeah, he didn't try to save him. So I mentioned before in, like, other videos, Batman 89, there was the writer's strike. So, like, that's why that movie kind of falls apart at the end. Like, it doesn't really... Suddenly, the whole movie, he's not killing anyone.
Yeah.
And in the third act, he's machine gunning people from the sky. Because whoever, like, took over writing was like, I don't know how we're going to fucking... He just shoots all the bad guys. Who gives a shit? It's like, all the other writers are on strike. We're two people in England. We don't give a shit about comics. He machine guns them. Why not? But yeah, he has, like, a fucking murder vehicle that he can just...
so we are getting into the vehicles, too. We'll talk about the vehicles themselves, but I just would say, like, that's one thing he has access to is, like, vehicles that can annihilate people. Like, the fucking Batmobile blows up that whole chemical factory. Mm-hmm. Also, the chemical... Alright, so he's trying to stop the Joker for spreading gas all over the city. He blows up that chemical factory. He's like, where do you fucking think all those chemicals are going to go? They're going to, like, blow into the city. You're forgetting something about the Adam West Batman, though, that that totally, I think, puts him above and beyond,
Yeah.
like, because that show was very, like, fantasy, whatever, and some of the stuff that they did on that show, for example, like in the movie, they have people, like, appearing and disappearing and all kinds of crazy shit, that, where I think the later Batmans got a little bit more serious, you might not see such ridiculous things, so I think the thing in the 1960s Batman that would have made Adam West much more powerful is the fact that he had a pink Batman costume.
He did.
Like,
he did.
I mean, like, how do you beat that? Thwart that knowledge, Tony.
I don't know. What would you prefer Michael Keaton to have a pink Batman costume?
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like,
in the NES game, he was purple.
That's true. But yeah, Michael Keaton, like, he is a very dangerous Batman. Like, he has no qualms about killing at all. He'll strap dynamite to you, like. He doesn't even know what that big strongman clown did. Like, that guy could have been his first day being a bad guy. He's like, hey, look, I'm doing this for the money, my daughter's sick, and Batman just straps a piece of dynamite.
Can we talk about, like, also the game?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is, but like, you could be doing this level with any of the Batman characters.
Batman,
How about just the Arkham, like, Batman?
He's pretty dangerous.
Like, I think he's pretty fucking dangerous.
I feel like every single, I was limited to this to just movie stuff.
Okay.
But, yeah, the Arkham Batman, every single punch and kick he throws is a punch and kick that would murder a man. Same thing with the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Man game. Like, oh, Spider-Man just murdered all those people.
Also, in Batman vs. Superman, which is a movie I didn't like.
We'll get to that when we get to Ben Affleck. But if you want to talk, all right.
Well, I'll save that.
But yeah, Michael Keaton, I think he's the most dangerous just because he has the ability to mass murder. Like, that bomb on his Batmobile that blows up the factory. The Batwing has all those weapons, and he has no qualms about using it.
He's a murderer.
I think he's high on the list of dangerous Batman. But one-on-one in a fight, he's not that. He's much like Adam. Adam West just lacked the skill. Michael Keaton, he's like limited by his suit. It's not that very good for fighting.
It's not fair because Adam West, he was still Batman.
Yeah.
And in the '60s, he didn't have as much experience. By the time it was the 1990s, he'd been fighting for years.
You know that's a different Batman. They're not the same.
What's that? What's this?
Different Batman.
What's it? Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? So he's definitely. It's a kind of an unfair comparison, as far as I'm concerned.
Hold on. Yeah,
it's always with PS4. I don't know.
So that's Michael Keaton. I'm ranking him high on the danger level. What do you guys think before we move on to the next one? Let us know what you think about Michael Keaton.
About Michael Keaton's Batman. Is he dangerous? He is dangerous because he's a murderer.
Yeah. And he has the ability to murder people on a large scale.
They said, hey, Adam West had the Batboat. Don't forget how dangerous that he killed a ton of manatees.
That's true.
Why does it only have to be human life?
That's true.
Think of all the fish.
Oh, Batman in the comics kills, like, so many animals. Like, I think people realize his no-killing rule is only limited to humans. Like, Batman will murder aliens.
It's not limited to humans. He fucking...
Well, I mean, like, when he does have the moral code in the comics, Hook still, like, kills sharks and shit. Michael Keaton would have killed all those penguins if he had. How much better Batman Returns have been if he was just, like, stabbing the penguins?
All right, what Batman are we going to now?
Well, this game doesn't have.
Does it have the Christopher Nolan?
It has the Nolan one. It doesn't have. It doesn't have the Kilmer Clooney one. But I'm gonna rank them pretty low.
I mean, just nipples. They lose. All right.
To be fair, though, Michael Keaton did have the abs too, and it's like, well, if you're gonna do abs, why not put nipples on it?
Because it doesn't need it.
I liked Keaton's Batman Returns suit way better than the suit we just had.
Okay.
I was never a big fan of the suit. One, there was like a weird issue with the bat symbol. They weren't sure if they were allowed to use it as it stood. So that's why they add. And that movie is always confusing because they add the little feet to it.
Oh.
But then nothing else in the movie has that.
I didn't know that. Wait, can you show that? Is it?
Yeah, it's right there. See.
Oh.
And it's the actually Batman Begins had something similar to this too. So that's the symbol on the
does the other one just go straight down?
It just doesn't have, they added this to it.
Right.
But all the other logos in those movies are just the regular bat symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Begins did the same thing. The bat symbol on his chest is completely different than the one they use in all the marketing and stuff.
I know. I guess you're talking about we're just doing feature films, but are we gonna include like when he did the like Scooby Doo like cartoons?
I'm gonna leave out Scooby Doo cartoons.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, if this was my list, that would be the first thing I'd mention. But hey,
we can fight.
this is Tony's hour.
Do you want to fight
You go ahead.
All right. We'll do it in crime.
I haven't played it in a while, so.
Where's Parents Were Killed? All right, Christopher Nolan Batman, the Christian Bale Batman.
Which one are we doing right now?
The Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Christian Bale scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I love him in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Not the whole movie. Like I don't really like the ending, but I really like the card scene.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a good scene. But he's fucking scary in that movie. He's murdering people with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I think of Christian Bale and all that, I kind of think of that at first, actually, before I think of Batman. So I think he's. But as Batman, sure, he's dangerous. Look at the movie you starred in.
Yes, my starring film, Dark Knight Rises. Well, I mean,
by the way, did you get that image I sent you? I found you in the movie.
Mike found me in the. I'll post the picture of it. Mike found me in Dark Knight Rises.
I did.
Yeah, I can't believe you were able to zoom in and find me. I was shocked.
Hey, you know how fucking long that took me?
I'm actually shocked that you just said that took long. I probably could have done that really quick.
No.
Oh, to find me. Sorry.
To find you.
I don't mean to imply that you were photoshopped.
No, I wasn't. Well, because here's the thing. I started for like hours and hours and hours, and I was looking through the DVDs and the bonus footage, all this stuff, like that one scene going over and over, and I couldn't find you. How I found you was I typed in like, football stadium Batman scene, and the first image that came up was just like a picture of you.
Oh, okay.
So I was it was easier like just using Google.
Anyway, Christian Bale Batman. Fighting wise, I think he's the top. He was trained by literal goddamn ninjas. Like Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, whatever you want to call him. The movie they call him Ra's. Like he's trained by ninjas. He knows how to fucking annihilate people.
Was he not as well in the Batman animated series?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like the comics ended up doing this whole thing where he's trained by ninjas. That was worked in the animated series. It was worked in the Nolan films. So he knows how to like take people out. Like that whole movie, those three movies. There's not many people who actually like can stand up to him physically. Like Liam Neeson a little bit, but only because he trained him. And then Bane, only because Bane was also trained by Liam Neeson. So like, they're the only two that actually are able to like match him in a fight. Like the Joker doesn't really do a good job of fighting him. He kind of has to pull moves like stabbing him and shit.
And not to like, sort of go off of subject, but I just want to know, because it's in my head, if you right now had to pick the most dangerous Batman villain, who would you throw out? Just throw out.
In what continuity? Like
anything. Just anything.
So I'm a little out of loop with the comics these days, but I'd probably say Ra's al Ghul, just because the whole like army aspect of it. He has like his own little private army. Okay.
I would say the Siren.
Siren? Which one's that?
We'll look up a clip later and you'll know.
Okay. It's gonna be someone from the fucking '60s show.
Yeah.
Who sings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the worst episode of the show because they get this loud, high pitched sound.
Yeah.
It's like that, like it's almost like a dog whistle, and you have to turn the volume down on the television. So I think that's the worst because it hurts the viewer. Egghead. Egghead.
Another thing, Christian Bale, his gadgets are really good, but he seems to he's not really tech savvy. Like Morgan Freeman has to explain all his gadgets to him.
That's true.
And there's so many gadgets that he could use early and he just doesn't.
I think, Batman's all about the gadgets. I think that's a big hit on the Christian Bale version, and I think you're right about that.
He has the gadgets, but he doesn't use them well. Like Dark Knight Rises, he has that, those little trank things that knock people out. Yeah. It's like, hey, that would have been good to use against Bane, you idiot.
Yeah. Michael Keaton was way better with the tech, and I think they all were.
I mean, there was some good stuff that he did with the tech. I love the scene where he goes to China and he has the parachute thing that attaches him to the plane. I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
But again, didn't he not make that?
He didn't make
anything.
Well, because they wanted, Nolan was big into James Bond stuff.
You're right. Oh, it was like Q.
Yeah, they wanted to, which was kind of what was happening in the comics, I think. Morgan Freeman, what's his face? Lucius Fox kind of was becoming that.
Right.
At that time.
I don't like that. I like that Batman makes it.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Because like my thing is, if he's the one that makes it, he knows how to use it really well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like every gadget he uses, it's kind of like he's using it for like the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that EMP like gun that he uses, Dark Knight Rises, but then like the cop shoots it, and it's like gone. It's like, oh, his gadgets are that weak.
The chat is saying James Rolfe as Batman is the most dangerous.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Well, Mega Bat Friend, I think, is the best Batman.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't think that's him. I think it's Mega underscore Bat underscore Friend underscore.
Oh, by the way, I have a here. Maybe the chat can help me out with this. I decided that if I get 10,000 subs on YouTube, I'll tattoo the Joker fan logo onto me. the little skull.
Does the chat get to decide where?
No, I'm not going to give him that kind of freedom. Because I do like that logo, because it's technically me and the Joker. But Christian Bale, the one thing that stops him from being super dangerous is that he has the no-killing rule. However, in those movies, he kind of kills a bunch of people, like, on accident. Like, actually, the Nolan movies did a good job of, like, getting around his no-killing rule. Like, it's like, oh, Batman, I gotta shoot this car to stop it, because there's a bomb on it. And then the bad guys get hit with the shrapnel. I'm like, all right.
All the superheroes are a big fucking problem because, like, Batman created the Joker, right?
And then the Joker,
yeah, I mean, in some versions. So
there are versions that say like he was fucked to begin with,
right.
And Batman just kind of added the theatrical part to him,
right?
Which I guess is what the Nolan version kind of implied.
So superheroes are just a problem in general.
So I'm gonna rank Christian Bale high, but his no-killing rule stops him from being too dangerous. I'm gonna put him. If he had the no-killing rule, he'd beat Michael Keaton right away. But he has the no-killing rule, so I'm going to put him underneath Michael Keaton.
Okay.
So I think we got Michael Keaton, Christian Bale. I think Adam West is at the bottom. I don't think he's that dangerous. How are you ranking them so far?
I definitely think Michael Keaton is more dangerous than Christian Bale. And if you want me to give you like a serious answer about the Adam West one, if you really watch the show, he really does have so many like fantasy devices, things that are so ridiculous. But if you're gonna take that as like one of the things he can do, he would make crazy ass devices that would just like win any situation. It's almost unfair, actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he's allowed to use his devices, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm totally going with you that his fighting skills blow. They're the worst. Worst fighting skills, probably best gadgets.
When did fighting start getting good in like movies and stuff? Was it like the 70s with like the kung fu flicks?
And maybe some of the westerns and stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, like I'm looking at like old movies where they were like fighting.
Yeah.
I feel like 70s and 80s where people were like, hey, let's like make like a cool fight.
How about like Charles Bronson? But he would just blow people away.
He would just shoot people. Yeah, I'm thinking like, I think kung fu films really affected how like we see fighting in films. Because like I just watched like the first Shaft movie the other day, and I'm like, oh man, the action's not too great. And they're just like, gah, gah. The Shaft goes through a window, and he's like does it so sloppily. They're making a new Shaft movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to mention this. It's got the best tagline ever. Okay. So it's 3 generations of Shaft. They got Richard Roundtree, the Samuel Jackson, because remember he did the one in 2000, and then a new one.
Okay.
So it's 3 Shafts. The movie should be called Shafts, but they're just calling it Shaft.
Okay.
The tagline, more Shaft than you can handle.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's like South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut or some shit.
Anyway, here's the Ben Affleck Batman, who is no longer playing Batman, apparently.
Also, if we are doing film versions, I do want to throw... We should just say, technically the serial versions are on film.
Yes.
So I used to watch those, and I remember him not being that great at fighting and stuff.
I watched them recently, and they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I guess let's just do Val Kilmer real quick.
Okay, sure.
Val Kilmer, really, in that movie, like, we've been talking about how, like, the old suits were limited. I think Batman Forever, like, even though he was limited by the movement, the way they filmed the fight scenes, it was almost seamless. Like his fight scenes in that are really, really good.
Okay.
Even though he had the same limitations as Michael Keaton, I just think whoever directed it, or they maybe had a better choreographer. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, let's, cut it here so we don't show him, like, doing all that. He's a really good fighter in that. He's got the really good gadgets.
That's
true. He just kind of seems like he's asleep throughout that whole movie.
Yeah, he's very dull.
But yeah, the thing is, like, Val Kilmer and George Clooney, on paper, like, especially George Clooney, those are, like, the best Batman you could cast. And then the execution was so fucking poor on them.
Yeah. I felt that they were both very dry. Michael Keaton had personality.
And Michael Keaton is really good. I think his script is what held him back. But he was good enough to act around it.
Christian Bale had personality.
Yes.
Even Adam West had personality. Yeah. But, yeah, like, those two, like George Clooney and Val Kilmer, they were just very, like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Val Kilmer, he's kind of asleep throughout the role. Also, he's kind of an idiot in Batman Forever. Like, it takes him so fucking long to figure out the Riddler is Edward Nygma.
Oh.
And it's so goddamn obvious.
He should know that in the first second.
Yeah. And then George Clooney, he's kind of an idiot too. like Poison Ivy. It's like, come on, Poison Ivy is clearly the girl you met the other day.
They want to know what's up with the Red Eye Batman. Like, who's
that?
That's
Justice League 3000.
Okay,
like,
but that's not a film thing, so we're not going there.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I will show you the one Batman is Have you heard of Flashpoint Batman?
I don't know that.
So the Flash one of the reasons I stopped reading DC Comics because they reboot it way too much, and one of the reboots they did was actually kind of a cool idea. They made an animated movie about it. I think you'd like it. The Flash goes back to save his mom, and it changes history. So history changes where Bruce Wayne is the one who died in the alley, and his dad became a Batman. Someone subscribed.
Thank you so much, Nero8630. If you guys have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free. I appreciate that.
Yeah, his dad became Batman, but he's like a murdering Batman with like guns and stuff. Like he is, and then the mom became the Joker. Like Martha becomes like the Joker in this new universe. So I'm hoping if they do a Flash movie, they do that because.
Can we see the Robins really quickly?
Yeah. But real quick,
okay.
The guy who played Ben Affleck's Batman in Batman v Superman is Negan from Walking Dead.
Okay.
I don't really watch that show, but I like that actor, so it'd be cool to see him.
I could go on a whole rant about that, but I stopped watching it.
I hate all the Arkham Robins. Like, I hate this buzz cut look. And
that's awful.
This is the Tim Drake Robin. But I like, the new 52 skin is okay. It's got the green and red. That looks like...
That's okay.
That looks like Tim Drake from the 90s.
I actually don't mind that.
Tim Drake in the 90s had this outfit, and that's the outfit they used for Dick Grayson in the cartoon.
Okay.
I like this one, because this is when I was real big into comics in, like, the mid-2000s. He had this outfit, the red and black. It's got cool, like, little wing feathers. And then, of course, your favorite.
It's not, actually. I never liked it. I've always thought it was awful.
You don't like Burt Ward?
I like Burt Ward, I just hate that outfit.
And then, okay, yeah, that's the original.
That's better.
Yeah.
See, that's a better... That looks like the other one, but it's better.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do Ben Affleck now. Where are we going to fight? We'll fight at the theater.
Ben Affleck, huh? All right.
So Ben Affleck's Batman.
Actually, you know what? I actually do have something to say about that.
What?
So, Batman vs. Superman. I didn't like that movie at all.
Oh, it's terrible.
But there was one part I kind of liked, and it was when the movie just kind of turned into a Batman movie for like 1 minute, and he's just like kicking people's asses. Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That scene would have been great if they didn't have him murdering. Like, that would have been an awesome scene.
Well, Michael Keaton was murdering.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
but I'm like, oh, this is close to what I want from a Batman. It's like, oh, but you're having a murder, and that's not really a Batman. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But I will say though, that scene, if we're gonna rank them by how dangerous they are, like that fucking scene, he's annihilating.
Right.
The fact that he doesn't, like, he has no problem killing, and he's a great fighter.
Yeah. And
his suit is super armored, but it doesn't limit him.
Right.
I think he's like I think he's the top of the most dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if the whole movie was like, not the whole movie, but like a lot of the movie was like that.
Yeah.
I want them to make a movie that is like more like that, because that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the only part of that movie I liked.
I'm surprised they didn't do a scene like that for Justice League, but he was fighting like grasshoppers the whole movie.
Yeah. I didn't like Justice League either.
You know what? I would say like he's only good against like regular humans. Mm-hmm. He sucks when it comes to fighting anything else.
Yeah.
Like he's bad at fighting the parademons. He's also not that smart. He's being manipulated by Lex Luthor, and it's so fucking obvious. And he could have stopped that whole thing by just talking to Superman. Like Batman would just talk first.
That's true.
He'd be an asshole because they always write him to be an asshole in
Sure.
those stories. But so he's not very bright. I feel like if you knew Ben Affleck was after you, if you were a smart enough villain, you could probably set something up for him.
Well, the problem is he is such an asshole, and, sorry, not to go back to it again, but think about how polite the Adam West Batman was. If he was a little more polite in that movie, the Ben Affleck Batman, he would have talked to Superman, and it would have been fucking fine. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I actually, I don't really like stories of Batman fighting. So I did a whole video on how like this is an idea that's never really worked or really been done right, because they changed both characters too much. Like Superman's not a dumb guy. If you read Superman comics, you put him in a Batman vs Superman story, suddenly he's just a muscled up brute. And it's like, but that's not how he usually is.
Yeah.
And then Batman's just like way too much of an asshole in those stories. Like, man, he really has a lot of ways to kill his like supposedly best friend.
Is every one of these things just like a room full of people to fight?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. What are the like goals of these?
These are just like you want to rank up points and stuff.
Okay.
Unlock more stuff.
Okay. I was just wondering.
But yeah, I think Ben Affleck. I think he might be the most dangerous Batman. Like Michael Keaton, he's limited in his fighting. Ben Affleck's got everything. He's got the fighting skill. He's got the suit that doesn't limit him but also protects him. He's got the gadgets. Actually, he doesn't have too many gadgets.
Not as many as Inspector Gadget.
That's true. Inspector Gadget would be the most dangerous Batman.
I want to see Batman versus Inspector Gadget. Because, he is a cyborg. Imagine if Batman was a fucking cyborg. How dangerous that would be.
It'd be even scary.
Yeah, it'd be like a fucking horror movie.
Probably is a cyborg Batman.
Yeah, probably. There's a cyborg Superman, right?
Yeah. Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
So yeah, how are we ranking this? I think it's Affleck, Keaton, Bale, West. What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna say it is. I feel like this is a little harder for me.
Like I would not want. Oh, another thing about Ben Affleck.
I'm gonna pick Michael Keaton as the most dangerous.
Okay.
Because I think that he not only could fight. I mean, look at all the people he murdered with his bare hands.
That's true.
Plus, he had the gadgets.
Yeah.
He's a fucking murderer. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Michael Keaton actually.
One other thing about Ben Affleck I forgot. We see in that dream sequence, if Batman broke his no gun rule, he is amazing with the goddamn gun. Because he takes out all those dudes in that one scene. So I don't know. I think Ben Affleck might be more dangerous than Michael Keaton, but it's kind of close. And again, Christian Bale, I feel if Christian Bale had the no killing thing, he'd be at the top. But
thank you, Stosis, too, for the sub. Appreciate it.
What do you guys think? Who would you rank as the most dangerous Batman?
Yeah, all right, chat, go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Not only that, but why. A brief description of why.
Yeah. Keaton has a fucking Gatling gun on his Batwing. They all kind of have Gatling guns, except for Val Kilmer.
Right. Hard to beat
Val
that.
Kilmer's fucking Batwing was knocked out by a beam of light. Actually, no, Michael Keaton's Batwing was knocked out by one bullet. That Batwing sucked. Christian Bale's is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked his because it looked like the Queen.
Did the Joker hit like the fuel or something? Like
how did he do that? Again, when you watch that movie, remember the writers didn't know what to do. I gotta watch the behind the scenes because I think Tim Burton, maybe it's in the commentary. Tim Burton told a story where like Jack Nicholson was like, "All right, so why is my character going up to the top of the church?"
I have a way they could have easily fixed that. When he says like Bob gun, how about Bob or one of the other guys hands him like a rocket launcher, and then he shoots that, and that makes a little more sense. I think,
which is what the Heath Ledger Joker did. He picked up a rocket launcher.
That would make more sense.
Adam West because he's Adam West. Clooney is the most dangerous because nipples. He doesn't need to kill anyone. Killing you would be mercy.
Lego Batman.
Batman needs Wolverine claws. Oh, then watch... what was that comic? DC and Marvel did a crossover comic in the 90s, and then for a bit, there were comics called Amalgam Comics, where it was their characters mashed together. Darkclaw. Darkclaw was Batman and Wolverine put together.
Oh, shit.
It was pretty cool. There was another one called Speed Demon.
Not a film, though, and we're doing film.
Not a film. There was another one called Speed Demon. It was Etrigan the Demon, Ghost Rider, and the Flash put together. It was pretty cool. Val Kilmer, most dangerous Batman. He has a back credit card. No, that's George Clooney. George Clooney had the back credit card. Affleck would have died in this Batwing by Doomsday.
Most dangerous shopper, maybe.
Yeah. Mike sounds great today. Much more clear than it usually is.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, so shall we move on?
You want to go to Batmobiles now?
Oh, that's right. I forgot we were going to do Batmobiles. So let's go to Batmobiles.
Okay, so now we're going to move on. We're going to do the same thing, but with Batmobiles.
So is this most dangerous Batmobiles?
We just do best Batmobiles.
Best Batmobiles, okay.
Or I guess what would be the best, not our favorite necessarily.
Okay.
But what would our favorite Batmobile be?
Well, actually, since you brought that up, I think if I can find it. So I have a lot of these Batman Archive editions.
Yeah.
And I wish I kind of would have known this earlier, because I think there is something in these that actually compares like the Batmobiles. Mm-hmm. But I want to actually find while we're doing that, if I can find some of the old versions, so you can see. In fact, if I can find the early one, we can see what the first Batmobile
those are the old comics, right?
Yeah, these are the original comics.
I have the collection of like the Sunday strips and the newspaper ones.
Right.
They're pretty cool. They're like gigantic.
So these are great. I started reading a lot of these early ones. You know, one of the first Batman villains.
They have this suit in the game too.
I would like to see that actually. So yeah, let's take a look at this real quick. I just want to show this. So real quick, you can find all that. So there's the first version of Batman. I think he's very dark and badass. Honestly, like I like that a lot.
They even gave him like the purple gloves.
Look at the ears.
Yeah.
There was an old like black and white movie that was called The Bat. And James did a video on that. And that has something to do. They used like the Bat logo and stuff like that.
I'm thinking of Devil Bat with Bela Lugosi.
But let me see if I can find the first version of the Batmobile, if I can. As you can start going through that.
Yeah. So first we're gonna do the. Again, we're doing a just movie version. Mm-hmm. Just because
we are. I just want to show this though.
Just because the. For the purposes of this video, when I edit later, it's easier to just get video from like movies and stuff.
Oh, that's a picture of it. Hang on.
When did they introduce Batmobile?
Well, I just saw a picture of it, so it's pretty early on.
I saw like a Batwing.
Yeah, actually, let me show them that. So, okay.
Yeah, it's like
so really quickly.
It's like a glider.
So, yeah. So here's the first, like, Bat jet or whatever right here. This down here, too. That's funny. But
that's the one where he hangs a guy, right?
I think this... I wish I could get a better shot, but on this page, right here, you'll see that's, like...
Oh, yeah.
The Batmobile, and also down here, you can kind of see it a little bit. There's other, comics that show it better. But I just want to mention, like... So they're always going back to like all the old like the Joker, the Penguin, and all this stuff. I don't understand why they don't do some of the really early villains, because there's stuff in the first comics like villains before the Joker that they've never really like shown. There's a character called the Monk. Like look at this guy.
What is he called?
I don't know what this dude is called, but I'm just saying like they haven't done that guy.
Wait, did you say Monk?
There's a character called the Monk.
They rebooted that. There's Matt Wagner did a line of comics that was about like early Batman stories, and one of them is called Batman and the Mad Monk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know that, but not in the film.
Yeah, that's right. He hasn't shown up in anything since then, I think.
Yeah. But they do certain things, like they'll show like the Scarecrow and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like sort of always been a proponent of like, why don't like if they make a Spider-Man movie, instead of like jumping to like some like Green Goblin or whatever, how about like that's why I was happy they did like the Vulture, because he's one of the first. Like I don't know if he's the first, but he's one of the first like ones they show. Yeah. And I kind of wish that they would do that with Batman. I would really like to see a Batman movie with if you know how they always have like 3 or 4 fucking villains in there,
Yeah.
have a couple villains from like the original comics. Like I think that would be different and maybe
just
cool.
do it how like Batman Begins did it and how Spider-Man Homecoming did it. Just make the other villains just like smaller supporting villains.
Also,
Don't do what the Burt movies did or the other movies did where everyone's fighting for screen time.
Right here, there's another like shot of the Batman.
I love that it's just like a blue car.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you ever see the one from the 70s? It was just a sports car with like his face painted on it. It was weird.
Well, if I can find it, I might actually have it. Let's see how far this goes. So this is the last one that I have.
Oh,
this is volume 8.
This is still like
this is still early. Yeah. Okay. This is like getting into like the ridiculous shit. Wonder if this has a picture of the pink. I should have looked this up earlier, but make Batmobile pictures in here. I know we're like, we'll get to it in a minute. Sorry, he's fighting pirates and shit. Dude, look at this guy pointing a fucking gun at Robin. Dude, this is violent. Where's the Batmobile? Come on.
There.
Yeah, there you go.
There's one.
All right, and I guess it shows it here too. All right, real quick. So there's like this era of Batmobile.
It's like, oh yeah, we put his face on the front of the car.
Yeah, they did that for a while. I don't know. I love these old comics.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. And that whole like 50s period of Batman, it's like look these like ridiculous things. But I like the corny stuff. Like I like the idea of like, sure, I like the dark Batman, but I like the funny Batman too. And I think in the recent years, people have become a little bit more okay with that. I remember in the 90s, it was like, fuck the 60s Batman. Yeah. But now it's like they make like the 60s Batman comics and stuff.
Yeah.
I think people have like finally warmed up to it.
Like, I feel like a lot of people didn't catch on that the 60s Batman is like intentionally like that.
Yes.
I think people are like, oh, it's so cheesy and stupid. I'm like, no, that's why they were making fun of like how cheesy comics were. Like they were in on the joke.
Here's actually a better shot. Finally, we got like a better shot. That's like an early Batmobile right there. Yeah, but exactly. And let me see if I can find like here, like if I can find like some kind of real corny example, like the comics of that period in the 50s. And I really like the 30s stuff. Actually, the 30s stuff was like a little more dark and whatever.
But he was only around for like the tail end of the 30s, I think.
Yeah. But basically, once it got to like the 50s and like into the 60s, Batman got fucking like absolutely ridiculous. He's like fighting aliens and like all this stuff. It's just like,
I think like the Joker disappeared for a long time until like the show.
I don't even think I have ones that go like into that period. But yeah, they get really like he has a pink costume and all this stuff.
The rainbow suit. Yeah.
When they did the 1960s Batman, that was what Batman was like at the time. And they saw those comics and they're like, okay, well these comics are ridiculous like that. We're gonna make a show that's like the comic. And that's why the show is like that. So they go to make that, and it's like they're probably looking at those comics and they're probably like, well, this is ridiculous. We have to not take this seriously.
I think people like think because you think about like Star Trek was taking itself seriously, but it was so cheesy and corny.
Yeah.
I feel like people think, oh well, Batman was doing the same thing. They thought they were being deadly serious. I'm like, no, they were having fun.
That's
with the
true.
idea.
That's there's two different things.
Don't get me wrong. I think maybe because there was so much stuff back then that was taking itself so seriously and looked ridiculous. But I feel like people need to know, like, no, they got it. They got the joke.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's why there were so many goddamn gadgets and stuff. They were making fun of like how ridiculous his gadgets were.
Exactly.
Anyway,
all right, let's get to the Batmobiles.
So Batmobile, we're gonna start off with the Adam West one.
Okay.
Which is a car I like.
I like it too.
I've seen it many times.
There's blue versions and there are black versions. I prefer the black version.
Yes. This car got a
Robin looks more buff than usual.
Yeah, this car might have gotten a drunk Butch Patrick to yell at me.
Oh no.
Because he was mad that Batman took the Munsters ratings and kicked them off the air. And I found out about this because while waiting to get an autograph for him, he yelled at me for wearing a Batman hoodie. And I forgot that they had the Batman car like right near his table.
I love the Munsters.
I love the Munsters too.
And I have seen every episode of the Munsters. Yeah. And I will say the only episode that I remember that featured Eddie Munster prominently was the last episode of the show.
Yeah.
And like he's in the show, but that show is about Herman.
Yeah.
If you watch that show, it's a Herman Munster show.
Yeah.
With Al Lewis. They're the stars.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he's like so upset about that, it's kind of like, well, yeah, but
anyway, so
yeah,
the '60s Batmobile. What do you think of it?
I love the design of it. on the show. It could do quite a few things. There's like a parachute, and I think there's like a laser, and it's got like a fucking cell phone. Not a cell phone. It's got like a phone in it. And at the time, it was very cool. Radar devices and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, have they? It's been a while since I watched the show. Did they do a lot of scenes like really with the car?
Yes.
Like doing like action stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good amount.
I think they raced the Green Hornet. Because the Green Hornet had the Black Beauty, I think?
I don't remember that off the top of my head, but they might.
Yeah, I think they did.
Okay.
I
don't think it had missiles like in this.
But if you were Batman, is this the Batmobile you would want?
No.
Because it seems it's a little too long.
If I was a collector, I would want this one.
Yeah.
But in like real life, if I was gonna be Batman, no.
Yeah. One, the top's exposed.
Especially right now, I wouldn't want it.
The top's exposed, which isn't very good if you're Batman. It's like, hey, every criminal in the city wants to murder me. Maybe I shouldn't have a goddamn moonroof. It's very clunky. And by the way, it's also really super bright. Like, you're just screaming, I'm Batman. Like, when you really want to be, like, stealthy and shit. That's one thing about, like, Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Their car had, like, all these lights on it. It's like, you're Batman.
Yeah.
You want to sneak up on people.
That's true.
I don't know.
I mean, at that era, Batman was very much almost more like a police officer.
He was.
And police officers have like sirens and like all this kind of stuff. So maybe they were thinking more along those lines at that point. But I'm going to go with you on this one. I think that this is not the Batmobile to pick as far as being dangerous or whatever.
Yeah. Or just effective. You want it to be Batman. It's not a very effective.
No.
Look, it's got a phone on it. I'm sure that was very helpful for the time. But, I got a phone on me. I don't need one in my car. Yeah. Like, I just call the cops no matter where I am.
It's like a I don't even think it had like a dial like on it. It's just like you picked it up and like people started talking. It just doesn't make any sense.
We'll wait till this is done. What was the chat thing? How would you rate? Would you want this as your Batmobile? And give us a reason.
They're saying it looks like there's a big trunk. So, like, it looks like there's a big trunk, so villains could easily stow away. Yeah. So the Joker could be in that trunk.
But you know what? The trunk is probably, here's the other thing. The trunk is probably full of Batman's endless gadgets, which is going to weigh down this car a lot.
That's true.
He's got his, like, shark spray and shit in there. That's another thing. He has so many goddamn gadgets. This thing's like a safety hat. Like, if someone crashes into him, who knows what's going to blow up in that car?
That's true about the car. But that was my point in the other thing, is he has so many gadgets that I almost feel like he could be overpowered because of all his gadgets in the 60s version.
What's like a ridiculous gadget he has?
Oh my god, he has everything. Everything you could imagine. And anything, because he can make anything back then.
Yeah. So I think this car is
there's an episode that literally the Joker has a UFO on the show. I love that episode.
I would love to sit down and actually watch it all the way.
It's really good.
So yeah, this car is going to rank pretty... If anything, I think this car is a safety hazard. I don't think it's actually going to help.
I'm agreeing with you on that.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next car, the Burton Batmobile.
All right.
Which was my favorite growing up.
Okay.
All right.
And I do want to mention we're probably skipping over like the cartoon like the Super Friends era Batmobile.
Here's the thing, guys. We're only doing the ones that the game has available. I would love to talk about Val Kilmer's H.R. Giger inspired car that glows in the dark. But no, now we're doing the Michael Keaton one, designed by Anton Furst.
I love this car.
Yes. A design so good that Anton Furst sadly killed himself in between movies. So that's why the second movie has a different, like, visual style.
Okay.
But
I didn't know that.
His car was so good that they kept it, because they're like, why update the car?
It's so good.
Perfect.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Actually, Anton Furst, he also did, he came up with the, in Alien, when they find the eggs, and it's like that blue laser light covering them? That was his idea. He did, like, a show or something. And I think Ridley Scott was like, "This is really cool. Can we use it for the movie?"
I had a remote control version of the the Michael Keaton Batmobile, and that one and the Adam West versions are like those two to me are the Batmobile. Yeah, they always will be.
I have a ton of the '89 Batmobiles. That's what I fucking loved that car so much as a kid. Mm-hmm. I had so many toys of it. I had T-shirts of it. And I liked all the other Batmobiles too, but that was like my go-to Batmobile. But is it a good Batmobile to have if you're Batman? That's what we're going to talk about.
Shields.
Shields. Those shields make those. If you watch it, you're like, where are the shields coming from in this? They just kind of like come out.
He's Batman. He can do all that shit. That's my explanation.
They're just coming
he's Batman. Don't you remember what he said?
What?
He said, "I'm Batman."
That's true. He did say I'm Batman.
That's what he would say.
So the car, look, by the way, if you want to strike fear into people, like, this is a scary looking car.
It is. You see that shit coming, you're like, I'm getting out of here.
It's actually got like bat shit on it, whereas the Adam West one didn't really have a lot of bat shit on it.
That's no. It had some bat stuff on it. It had a bat symbol. It's got more than the fucking tumbler is. It looks nothing like a bat.
We'll talk about that
okay.
next. But so yeah, this does have the bat design. But the same problem with the other one. Actually,
this has machine guns.
It's true. It does have machine guns. This one, it's still a little too long.
Is that the Ghostbusters firehouse you just passed?
This car is still a little too long.
It is.
Which is not going to help you in like a car chase if people are going through alleys and shit. Actually, it's in the movie it's shown to be a disadvantage because he goes around like a corner and he has to shoot a fucking harpoon to tie around the pole to make sure he can make it around the corner.
I want to tell you something about this Batmobile.
Yeah.
I actually think about this Batmobile all the time, and I'll tell you why. Whenever I'm driving down the road and there's a lot of traffic, or you ever be driving down the road and there's two lanes and the two people in front of you are driving not fast enough, but they're not letting you get around.
Yeah.
In those situations, I think, I wish I had the Michael Keaton Batmobile, because in Batman Returns, do you remember the part where the Penguin takes over the car and it goes down the street and it's just knocking all the other cars out of the way?
Yeah.
I want the car so badly so I can just knock through like those other cars that aren't getting out of my way.
Here, actually, that leads... Alright, so one, it's bad around sharp turns. Like, if there's no pole to swing onto, Batman's going into it, but it's going to be like this. You're just gonna fall into shit.
That's true.
Good point you made about the Penguin. This car is apparently... Anyone can get the blueprints from the Batmobile. The movie never explains how Penguin got the goddamn blueprints to the Batmobile. This car is easily hackable. That's
Batman's fault that the fucking Penguin got like he shouldn't have let him.
That's a pretty big plot hole in that movie. They never explain how Penguin got that. I'm gonna restart this because I want to keep talking about this.
Yeah, how did whatever. That's another discussion.
I think from what I remember, there was a thing in like the script where like one of like the bad guys, they had a thing where like, and this could not be true. This could just be a rumor that was online. There was a thing in the script where one of the bad guys was going to sneak into the Bat cave and get the blueprints for the Batmobile.
Okay.
But that leads a bigger question. Wait, can they know the location of the Bat cave?
Yeah.
So that's
probably why they left it out.
So they probably cut it out, but now there's like a new plot hole. Anyway, like even before they hack it, that weird carnival girl, she just has like a remote control that just turns off the shield.
Yeah.
So like his security system on this car
sucks.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That makes sense. I'm buying your argument on this too.
However,
aesthetically, I want to say it's one of the best.
However, it is very well armed. It apparently has a bomb that can blow up an entire chemical plant. It's got the machine guns. I do like what you said, the safety feature where it can break apart. Mm-hmm. So there is good shit in this car. Of course, it's got the jet engine.
So where we're at right now is if you wanted to have it in real life, you would rather have this than the Adam West one.
I don't know. I feel like because I kind of would want this one. Okay. But the fact that it is so easily hackable,
that's dangerous.
I feel like it could be more of a burden than a help. Okay. Where, I mean, I feel the same way about Adam West, but at least I'm in control of that monstrosity as well.
I'm going to throw something out, and I could be wrong on this as well. I think I remember an episode where something like that where... Oh, you know what? I don't think they hacked the Batmobile. I think like the Riddler or somebody steals the Batmobile.
Oh, okay. So that one has no theft. Like, so this one has poor theft control. Like, it has the shields, but they don't work that well.
Right.
And Adam West apparently has no theft control on it. Alright, so I guess I guess Adam West has. I might put Adam West just a little bit above.
Yeah, but I think like Adam West probably parked the car in front of the police station, and then the Joker comes along. He's like, woo-hoo-hoo! And he opens the door and he gets in, and then it just drives away. You know, it's a little different.
Yeah, I see. On Batman, I don't want people to do it. At least this one, you have to work to hack it. I'm stuck on that. I think I'm split. Chat, decide for me. Which one's better?
All right, we're going to the chat. What do you think? Adam, which one would you rather have in a real life situation?
By the way, this is how I feel like when I bought a car. Like, I'm just weighing the pros and cons of the cars. I'm like, well, I like that feature, but I don't know about this.
Okay, people are going for the
89 Batmobile?
Yeah, the 89 Batmobile. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next Batmobile.
Okay. All right. I just want to do that cool burnout. All right. By the way, in the main game, like, you can't use any of these Batmobiles during the story mission. You need the Batmobile that turns into a tank. And then once you finish every single mission,
then you can do it later.
Then you can do a free ride around in the car, but then it's like, there's nothing to do.
Right.
It's so
That's stupid. I hate when they do shit like that.
Yeah. All right. So next is the Tumbler, which I forgot. I don't need to go to the thing every single time. But maybe we will, just so we can just intro it for the video. Remember, guys, this stream turns out to be multiple videos later on.
Okay, I want to mention this first about the Tumbler. Yeah. I think it is the worst Batmobile aesthetically. Okay. I think it's ugly. Okay. I don't like how it looks. I love the Tim Burton one. I love the 1960s one. This thing looks like something that should be in the U.S. Army. It does not look like a bat anything. Which I know it comes from that in the movie, but it's just not. This is not a bat device.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like the tank look. It fits in with that universe. We're not ever like the only bat-shaped things he really has are his batarangs,
which is a big problem to me. He's fucking Batman. Why isn't there more bat shit?
I get why they did it though. Like in that universe. I don't know. The thing is though, if we're gonna talk about Batmobiles, we won. I think this might be the one.
I said aesthetically.
Yes. Oh no, aesthetically, I understand aesthetically. It's not. The best to look at.
I think it looks like an ugly piece of shit. Yeah. I think it looks like garbage. Like when Michael Bay made Devastator in that movie. I think it looks like garbage. But I will say, I'm probably gonna pick this because I think it's probably the most like it seems like if I got into this in real life, I probably would be safe. Yeah. Where I don't feel that way in the Adam West, like, you know.
Although it's got its pros and cons, we'll get into it when we start going here. So yeah, it is a military grade vehicle, and if you look at like actual military vehicles, none of them are like aesthetically pleasing.
No.
They're built for practicality.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like, he doesn't need to put the bat stuff on this to make it look scary. It already looks scary.
You know what would be really funny right now? Yeah. Let's say that this was all real. Yeah. In real life, and then you put the Adam West Batmobile like on a street, and you put this Batmobile on the street, and the 1961 just shoots a laser at this one, and it just blows up, and we're like, well, I guess we were wrong, you know. But no, this car looks more realistic. Yeah. It looks like it could exist in real life.
And what I like about it is that it's small, it's compact, which actually helps him. Like, he's able to like maneuver around stuff a lot more. Because the other cars are like so big and clunky.
That's true. This is very maneuverable.
Yeah. Like, he's able to outrun like the entire like police department like pretty much easily in Batman Begins. Whereas Michael Keaton had like a problem outrunning people multiple times.
Can I say? I think it's. I don't know if it's the Dark Knight or the Dark Knight Rises or whatever. You can tell me. But which is the one where you don't even see Batman for like a half hour?
Well, the first one, because it's an origin one. But yeah, Dark Knight Rises, it takes a while for him to come like out of retirement.
Okay, so I think I'm Dark Knight Rises. So I like that, where like there's a lot of stuff that happens, and like you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you're like okay, you're at the point where like, is this even a Batman movie? Yeah. And then there's a part where he's like, I think on the Bat cycle or something, and then he like turns, he's got the outfit on, and by that point I was just like, oh yeah, I like that moment.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, it takes him forever to show up, but for that story, it was good. And this was just like like what they were trying. I understand what they were trying to do. like him, they were building up him coming out of retirement. If that was like the second movie and it took an hour for Batman to show up, it's like, no, show up right now.
Yeah.
Which they were smart. They show Batman in like the first scene of that movie.
Right.
Basically.
And it's a long movie too. You get a lot of Batman.
This car, it can take a beating. Like you saw in like Dark Knight, they eventually have to hit it with a bazooka point blank to actually knock it out. But this car, like in the Dark Knight, this car hits a truck head on. It smashes the truck into like the wall.
Yeah.
It's got tons of gadgets. It's got those little little bombs that come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it's more powerful though than the 1978 Euro Batman Mini Cooper?
I'm gonna say yes. It's more powerful than the 1978
The Mini Cooper.
Euro Mini Cooper. But I think they call it the Tumbler because it can like roll around and get beat up. It also has the feature of being able to do a rampless jump.
You know what? We forgot one thing. I think the 60s Batman separates into a motorcycle as well. Does this one? And also this one does as well.
The 60s one turns into a motorcycle? I thought he just had a motorcycle.
Or it's oh no, I'm sorry. The 60s one, he has a motorcycle with Robin's compartment, and Robin's compartment comes off.
Apart,
Never mind. This one is the one where it has the bike that comes out.
Which is another. I think that's a good benefit to this one.
Right.
Like if you are fucked, hey, you actually have an escape pod in your Batmobile.
I like the idea that like Batman has a motorcycle and he can just get rid of Robin like at any point. Like what if they were going along the coast highway in California, which is where it was shot by Bronson Cave, and he just shoots Robin off the side of the cliff, like at any point.
Well, I say because Batman Returns has like a little escape thing, but that one's not as effective as the Batpod. Which, by the way, Batman Returns, it turns into like a bullet train looking thing, and I'm guessing it can only go straight. And I'm like, wow, it better be a straight shot to the Wayne Manor, because I don't see that thing making like turns. Whereas the escape pod in this, the Batpod, like that fucking thing, you can climb up walls and shit.
That's true. Yeah.
You can drive through a little mini mall chasing the Joker.
So far, by the way, I'm definitely going with this Batmobile.
Yeah.
But I guess the like the Batman Forever one, like that's not in this game, right?
No, but that one's not really great.
That one could like go up a wall.
That one, but like the amount of steps it takes to go onto a wall.
It looked like it was, that part was so bad.
I'm like, all right, so you got to hit a jet underneath, and then you got to shoot a rope. And then you gotta hope you don't crash in time.
You know what I thought was so stupid about that Batmobile? That giant fin.
Oh yeah, it's so big.
It's so bad. I hate that fin.
I like that it looked like an H.R. Giger thing, but and then George Clooney's is even bigger. It's got he's totally exposed. It's so clunky. I don't even know if it had gadgets. But this one can fly across roof. It can like jump across rooftops and shit. It's got that thing where you can go into like the middle. By the way, you're completely covered in it. You're armed.
Yeah.
So you can see. Like you can either be up here or you can go into that little middle section for more armor.
There's all kinds of shit.
So if we're gonna talk about best Batmobile you would want, I think this might be the top. But there's one more.
Okay. So far, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah.
We're in agreement for once here.
If you're Batman, you want to go in with that. Mm-hmm. And then we have the most forgettable one, I think.
Okay.
The Ben Affleck one.
Is that the one where Superman rips him out of it?
Yeah, and then I think in the next scene the doors are back on. I think there's a continuity error.
Honestly, I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Let's see it. I think it might look a little more like a Batmobile, though, from what I remember. Yeah. But let's see it.
But I still have my toy of the old Batmobile, the Forever Batmobile and the Forever Batwing.
Right,
okay, so this one, it kind of looks like...
It looks more like the Burton one a little bit.
It's like Burton mixed with the Nolan one.
It is.
It's got the gun on the front, but it looks kind of flimsy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It looks like if it got hit like 2 or 3 times, it was just going to fall apart. And
And I don't remember it having that many gadgets in the movies. Like, it has the gun on the front.
This thing looks like it should be in like Mad Max or something.
Yeah.
Not a Batmobile. This thing's, look at it clanking into the wall. This thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's real flimsy. I know he modified it in Justice League to have like a big cannon on it. But I don't know. This car always looks weak to me. Ah, God.
The best one is actually the Penguin's duck boat.
Oh yeah, the duck boat from yeah.
That would kill all of them.
Yeah. Actually, after this, I'll show you some of the racetracks. They have a '60s racetrack.
Okay.
But I wanted to like shoot bad guys first. The racetracks are kind of hard in this game.
Hey, I hate this car. I'm
I
gonna
hate
throw it
it
out.
too.
I think it's absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real weak.
I'd rather see one of the early ones from the comics or something. Like this
Yeah.
thing sucks.
I get.
I want to see them make like a movie that actually has the big bat like face on the front from the old comics.
I might pick this over like the '60s Batmobile.
No, fuck that. This thing's a piece of shit. This doesn't have any aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I know it's about like if real life or whatever. But I think the '60s Batmobile would have more devices and shit on it than the fucking thing. Fuck this thing.
I don't even think this thing has room for gadgets. Like
yeah, but the motherfucking Adam West one, it's got the whole trunk
got
full
a
of gadgets.
giant trunk.
All they have to do is like reach in the back and like fucking chuck out whatever they want.
I get it's got a gun on the front, but I don't know. I can't see this thing jumping off rooftops. Like I feel like if it lands, it's gonna be completely destroyed.
Fuck
Like,
this thing.
The wheels are gonna fall. Yeah, fuck this car.
Well, all we know is this car's not winning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that car's out.
And that has nothing to do with our opinion on the movie. I just think it's a bad looking car. It looks like it's about to break. It didn't do anything. It's the the Batmobile scenes are like some of the most memorable in all the Batman movies. I don't even remember anything this car did.
All I remember is Superman ripping him out of the thing.
Yeah.
And if like, how about if you're Superman's gonna come after you?
Yeah.
How about make your fucking top of your thing out of kryptonite or something?
Well, he didn't get the kryptonite yet in that movie.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah. That's actually what he was on the way to get when Superman stopped him. I think, was the kryptonite.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I rank this one pretty. I think the Tumbler is what you want as Batman. What car do you guys want as Batman? What would be the car that you would
Let's see if they agree with us. I think they all want the Penguin's boat. The Penguin, the thing.
The WD Stretchy Batmobile is the most pimp. 60s.
Big old bucket wants the '60s one. The Lego Batmobile.
89 Batmobile. 89 Batmobile.
I think a lot more people are picking the '89 one.
Yeah. Before we move on, I want to show you the '60s racetrack because I think you'd like it.
Okay. Boat. They want the boat. They're like, fuck the Batmobile. We want the Penguins thing. Does the Riddler have any kind of car or anything?
He probably does. They all have their own.
The Riddler mobile?
Probably. Wait, can I not play the '60s? Oh, yeah, okay. So they have a different...
Oh, the animated series car.
Yeah.
That's good. But that looks a lot like Tim
That's a
Burton.
lot like Burton. So they gave like each movie car its own racetrack.
Okay.
And they
Oh my god, it's like where the bomb.
Yeah, they all look
my
like,
god.
Film sets. So like the Burton one, it looks like Penguin's underground lair. But like the racing and stuff in this game, it's like real. By the way, this is you gotta hit like circle to change these. All of Riddler's missions in the game are like this, and they're so fucking frustrating.
I'm looking if they have the pipes that he ducks behind when the bomb goes off. Like Santa Monica Pier or something. They have the music here too.
Yeah.
Batman! Batman!
Yeah, the Riddler missions in Arkham, they like ruin them. But they're all just racetracks. It's like, how is this a fucking riddle?
Do you know the lyrics to the song?
Batman?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's Batman and
They had the cop there too.
And Batman. Followed by Batman.
So this is like the film set where they made the show or something. Like it looks like a film set.
Yeah, that's like a little thing they do for like for all the movie car. Oh shit, the submarine.
Oh my god, from the movie.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's cool detail. I just wish the driving wasn't so frustrating.
Right. It's awesome that they did this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this at all. Well, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Moby Dicks.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
There's the they got a shark in there.
Penguin and sub again.
It looks frustrating to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, they really fuck up the car is like the one weak point of this game. And
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hanging from off the ladder. Off the ladder.
It's
like a recreation of that scene.
And there was a big shark repellent next to it.
That's awesome.
Does it change every time we do a lap? I haven't noticed that.
No, I don't think it changes.
Better to notice it first time.
I noticed a little penguin that was like, I think that comes out of the submarine or something. It's like the periscope on the submarine. Can you make it go into the water?
It'll just restart.
Okay.
It'll just like fade to black. Okay.
Nah, never. This is the best Batmobile. I changed my mind.
I love how we're just looking at the set now.
Yeah. Shark jump.
Shark repellent.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. That's
and
funny.
it shoots. That's funny.
That's great.
I think it's the last lap.
Oh, that convention. That was the mattress. I hope you go by that one more time. Because the part with the helicopter, there's a part in the movie where rubber foam mattress. Like, the Riddler shoots him out of the sky, and then it lands on mattresses. That's great. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie, actually.
All right, that's our Batman thing. Do you want to go to another game?
He's like, it's a good thing I spotted that mattress sale out of the corner of my eye at the last moment. Don't you think, Robin?
Yes,
and Robin's
Batman.
like, yes, Batman. I agree with you.